Israel resumed widespread strikes in Gaza, breaking a ceasefire with Hamas. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Tuesday, March 18th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Early this morning, Israel's military launched extensive strikes on the Gaza Strip. It was Israel's deadliest bombing campaign since a ceasefire took effect in late January. The Gaza Health Ministry said that more than 400 Palestinians were killed. Hundreds more were wounded, and dozens were still under the rubble this morning. An Israeli official said that the strikes targeted Hamas leadership and infrastructure and were part of an operation planned over the past few weeks. But Palestinian officials said children were among the dead. Hamas has pushed in recent weeks to move forward with negotiations to secure the second phase of a ceasefire. That would include a permanent end to the war. But Israel has pushed instead for an extension to the first phase, with the release of more hostages. This is a quickly developing story, so check out our homepage for the latest updates. President Donald Trump escalated his fight with the federal court system yesterday. That's number 2. On Saturday, a judge barred Trump from using a Wartime Powers Act to deport alleged Venezuelan gang members without a hearing. In his order, the judge instructed the administration to turn around any planes that had taken off after Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act. That act is from 1798. 2 flights had already taken off with deportees, and a third left after the judge issued his ruling. At a hearing yesterday, the judge demanded the government explain why it had appeared to flout his order. The government's lawyers instead called for the removal of the judge and refused to answer some questions in court. It followed weeks of administration officials questioning the authority of courts to constrain the president. Some legal experts describe the pushback as a breakdown of the fragile balance of powers between the branches of government. Number 3. The Trump administration moved to reinstate thousands of fired federal workers. Last week, a federal judge ruled that the Trump administration had illegally terminated tens of thousands of probationary workers across 18 federal agencies. The judge ordered officials to rehire many of them. Last night, there was an update. A court filing revealed that the Trump administration has moved to reinstate at least 24,000 federal probationary employees. Most of the reinstated employees were placed on paid administrative leave. Others were fully reinstated with pay or reinstated without pay if they had been on unpaid leave before their termination. It's another example of the legal challenges that the administration is facing, including in its ongoing effort led by Trump advisor Elon Musk to slash the federal workforce. Number 4. Texas arrested a midwife under its abortion ban. Texas has a near-total abortion ban with few exceptions. Providing an abortion in the state is punishable by up to life in prison and $100,000 in civil penalties. Yesterday, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced felony charges against certified midwife Maria Margarita Rojas. She was charged with performing illegal abortions and practicing medicine without a license. Rojas owned and operated 4 health clinics in the suburbs of Houston. Her friend said that she was pulled over by police at gunpoint and handcuffed. These are the first criminal charges to be brought under the state's ban, and it's one of the first such arrests in the country since the fall of Roe v. Wade in 2022. Southern Plains states are at risk of more wildfires. That's our 5th story. In recent days, devastating wildfires burned thousands of acres in Oklahoma and Texas, destroying hundreds of homes. And the threat of fires isn't over yet. Parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Texas, Kansas, and Oklahoma are under an elevated to extreme fire weather risk today and tomorrow. The highest risk today will be in West Texas and southeastern New Mexico. Prolonged fire weather conditions stem from a storm track that is persistently swinging low-pressure systems across the Central Plains. Each one brings renewed dry and windy conditions. Gusts could reach 55 to 65 miles per hour in the drought-stricken region, and that could fan the flames of new wildfires. Number 6. The FBI asked people to protect their Gmail and Outlook accounts. In recent years, attacks using a type of ransomware called Medusa have crippled organizations in critical industries, including healthcare. So now the FBI is asking companies and individuals to take extra steps to protect important accounts, including Gmail and Outlook. The agency issued a new advisory last week. The most important steps you can take are to turn on two-factor authentication and check for software updates. You should also always pause before clicking on suspicious links, especially ones in emails or that were sent to you on social media. One link you should click on, though, is the one in our newsletter today about how to protect yourself from cyber attacks. Find that in our show notes. And at number 7.
All hooks open.
All hooks are open. And undocking confirmed.
2 NASA astronauts who have been stuck in space for 9 months are finally on their way home. When NASA astronauts Sunita Sunny Williams and Barry Butch Wilmore left Earth last summer, they were expected to spend about 8 days on the International Space Station. But repeated technical issues meant they were there for 286 days. They finally departed the ISS early this morning. The flight home comes after Williams and Wilmore orbited Earth more than 4,500 times and traveled more than 120 million miles on the ISS. But they both said they were happy to stay in space for longer than anticipated. Their return trip is one of the most perilous parts of the mission. As it plunges through the atmosphere, their capsule will generate temperatures of about 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit. If all goes well, they will splash down off Florida's coast this evening. You can see a video of Williams and Wilmore's long-awaited departure from the ISS in our newsletter this morning. So safe travels to Butch and Sunny. All right, you're all caught up. Have you ever wondered why you can't stop scrolling on your phone even when you know you should? The Post's podcast, Try This, has a new course out today, and this one takes on our relationships with our devices. It's hosted by friend of the Seven, Christina Quinn. She'll teach you how to tame the dopamine beast that lives within all of us. And this course has it all: neuroscience, romance novels, and nail art. Find Try This wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.